The biggest misconception about medical device innovation is
That it can't be invested in for pediatric devices.
if clinicians were more involved in innovation, we would see
A lot more innovations.
one of the biggest challenges in healthcare today is tracking patients in real time, especially when it's breathing. Today, with me is Dr. Greg, who is representing Makani Science. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So let's put our audience in context. What's the solution of Makani Science?
We make a bandage-sized, wireless, wearable respiratory monitor that's unique for two reasons. One is because of its size. It'll fit anybody from a premature baby through an adult, and it can be used on ambulatory individuals. So if you think that most of these devices, you've got a wire, a tube in the nose, but you're usually tethered to something, and then those that are made for ambulatory devices, they actually have a lot of motion artifact, which with our technology, we eliminate that. So somebody could wear it 24/7.
Indeed. So let's start with a nice breaking moment on our conversation. I'm
Okay.
going to give you some statements, okay? And you will complete the sentence with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right? Let's start. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Sounds like a
So,
good game.
The biggest misconception about medical device innovation is
That it can't be invested in for pediatric devices.
if clinicians were more involved in innovation, we would see
A lot more innovations.
the hardest part about turning a good idea into a company is
Taking the opportunity to expose yourself to new environments, which I think so many academics and others don't do because they just create devices or publish a paper and then go on and publish another paper. So it's making that leap to start a company.
in MedTech, success isn't just about technology, it's about
Execution.
if I could change one thing about the healthcare system today, it would be
Simplify the American healthcare system.
amazing. So one of our questions was the hardest part of turning an idea into a MedTech company. And going back to your background as physician, today leading a MedTech company, how this shift happened, what inspired you to create
I've worn a lot of hats in my career. I've been a practicing physician. I've been an executive in health insurance companies. And so I've used devices. I've had people approach me with devices. I've adopted a lot of devices. And now as I've had enough exposure, I'm looking to create devices to make the world a better place and help people stay healthier.
what's this different insight that you as physician who's actually understanding directly the use of the device with the patient make different the whole ideation of your device?
I think it's applying practical principles of being a physician, of seeing and hearing what people want, know where some of their needs are, know the challenges of getting a device paid for, and I can bring lots of different experiences to that role and again bring that device to a commercial use.
Indeed. Guide us through your device. How does it work and what does it make it special?
So it's actually very interesting because it's a stretchable electronic strain gauge that measures distension down to about 20 microns, so about half the width of a hair. It's that sensitive. And it's actually placed on the chest and abdomen at the same time. And so when people breathe with their chest or breathe with their abdomen, we're capturing that. And because it's stretchable electronic strain gauge, it doesn't have the same challenges of a lot of the other electronic respiratory monitors that are out there. And so that's the unique thing, and that can be used on all sizes of individuals. And what's very unique about it is that it can be used on people when they're moving around, whether they're being interviewed or sitting on a Zoom meeting, going grocery shopping, or playing tennis. Mm-hmm. We're able to capture their breathing dynamics throughout all those movements.
Indeed. One of the conversations today is regulation, especially today in the landscape of FDA approvals and the length of it. How is your company navigating this regulatory landscape and the complexity of it?
Well, I'm happy to say that we've gotten FDA clearance for our first generation device, and so it wasn't easy to navigate that landscape, but we're moving forward. And then the next thing is getting paid for our device and making sure that we get paid, the people who use the device get paid, that insurance companies pay for it, and that the doctors and other healthcare providers will get paid for using it. And so, say, navigating the regulatory landscape and the reimbursement landscape are the two things that are, I think, are probably the most challenging.
I'm not sure if your company at the moment is looking to fundraise or what stage are you at the moment, but if you had to advise startups similar to you on how to pitch well, for example, their product, what would you advise?
Well, it's interesting because I wear two hats because I'm an investor myself. I'm part of several different angel groups, and so I'm often seeing pitches in addition to pitching myself. I think the most important thing is to realize that your audience are not going to be a lot of healthcare professionals. They're investors, and you need to think about what they're looking for. And so sometimes it's going to be the quality of the CEO. It might be when am I going to make money? How much money am I going to make? And what's your exit? And I think that's probably one of the hardest things for CEOs of startup companies is here they're fighting tooth and nail to start their company, but the investors are saying, when are you going to exit? Because I need to make some money. But so I think taking that comprehensive view of what the investors are looking for is really important to make sure you capture in your pitch.
Indeed. To finalize our interview, how do you see your company in, let's say, the next 5 years? How would you like patients' life to get better?
No, thanks. And it's actually the whole reason I went into this business was I'm a physician and I'm always looking to make people healthier. What's exciting about our device is not only are we capturing how people are breathing, we're capturing the waveform of their breathing, capturing that in the cloud, and with enough data, I'm anticipating that not only will we be able to tell what's going on at the moment, but we may be able to predict and prevent any type of respiratory deterioration. And so that's where I think the real game changer is, and that's where I think will make the biggest difference in the future of healthcare with anybody with some type of respiratory problem.
Indeed. Well, good luck, Dr. Greg. Thank you very much for accepting the invitation. We hope to see you in any of our MedTech World events.
Excellent. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much.